it in now because I may not talk about the WNBA again until April.
Well, okay.
Trust me, I'm not going to be watching. I can't. I'm not going to be watching.
The WNBA failed terribly in their attempt to keep the show going by pushing their best player out of the spotlight. And you know who's at fault? The league, the authorities, and all of the supposedly established players believed they could intimidate Caitlin Clark and maintain their tenuous existence. I've made an effort on occasion to defend Cheryl Swotes, but it's obvious now I haven't taken the time to argue for Angel Reese. I've spent a very small amount, but I simply cannot. Angel Reese is a hate monger, and Caitlin Clark is the foundation of her media fame and platform. Without any safeguards, you allow your cash cow to be battered game after game after game. After leaving, she took all those juicy ratings with her. What remains, arenas are empty, and the league is frantically trying to stay relevant. Every time she set foot on the court, the officials allowed her to be thrashed. Additionally, the more seasoned players made crude remarks about her in an attempt to undermine her. Congratulations, then. You've managed to render the league as a whole obsolete. Take pleasure in your mess. It is simply untrue to say that the league is against Caitlin Clark. It is inequitable to the women who have contributed to the development of this league up to this point in order for Caitlin Clark's fame to propel it forward. Consider it. Prior to Caitlin arriving, the WNBA was expanding at a pitiful 40% pace. However, there was a 400% increase in viewership the moment she entered the scene. Yes, 400. For the first time ever, she was the only one who brought the WNBA back into the spotlight. What is the role of the league? They allowed the media to disparage her and officials to harass her on the court, then pretended to be shocked when she decided she could stand their bullshit. I suppose the WNBA isn't very good at common sense. They are now paying the price for treating their best player like a disposable commodity. Enjoy the WNBA's cricket-filled venues. Additionally, it appears that Caitlin Clark won't be playing basketball for another 200 days. At the conclusion of Game 2 of the Indiana Fever vs. Connecticut Sun series, an ESPN reporter stated that Caitlin Clark will most likely not be playing basketball this offseason. Thus, no foreign countries and no unmatched 3-on-3 league. Shall we begin with the magnificent numbers? She garnered 2 million views while Clark was still performing. Yes, exactly. In fact, 2 million people were eager to see the WNBA. I realize it's shocking. However, the audience doesn't simply stop watching once she leaves the scene. It plunges directly into the ground. Not even 400,000 people watch some of these so-called playoff games. Do you mean me? Even a league in the middle of its playoff season is unable to match Clark's performance on a typical night. How completely embarrassing. The WNBA's viewership increased by 40% prior to the 2023 season, from 2022 and 2023. However, since Caitlin Clark joined, the number of watchers has increased by 400%. That means it would take until 2028 for the WNBA to achieve what Caitlin Clark did this year if it kept growing at the same pace as it did from 22 to 23. And let's not even talk about their WNBA Countdown pregame show. In actuality, their playoff games drew less views than this little hype section. I mean, consider it. Instead of sitting through the real games, people would rather listen to a group of talking heads babble about games they won't even watch. Of course, it's hard to blame the fans when the league is as dull as watching paint dry without Clark. Millions and millions and millions more eyes will be on Caitlin. Additionally, there will sadly be some nasty people among those millions and millions of additional eyes. The WNBA has once again shown that they are the greatest at putting themselves in a bad position. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation star who has the ability to genuinely make people care about the league on her own. What do they do then? She is treated as though she were a novice punching bag. They wish to scare away their own stars if you didn't know any better. Bravo, WNBA. The worst league administration I've ever seen, in fact. However, if it's specific individuals at the face, they don't want it to spread. I'm not sure what else it could be, but there's still this underlying feeling of envy that, for some reason, I can't avoid labeling it that. It hasn't improved this season despite my expectations that it would. I still receive the impression that some individuals simply do not want Caitlin involved. Vision eye. Carrington smacks Caitlin Clark in the eye during a playoff game, leaving her with a freaking black eye. Clark is undoubtedly the most entertaining athlete to join the WNBA in years. What do the referees do too? Nothing. Just crickets, no whistle, no foul. What if a so-called veteran player experienced that? Technical fouls would be flying everywhere. But no, it's just play on for Clark. How to safeguard your investment. WNBA superstar. I'm curious as to if Caitlin discussed the horrible remarks she was receiving at each post-game press conference. If she publicly revealed the reason behind her personal security, it would accompany her everywhere. It's quite a bit. Therefore, it's not limited to Indiana Fever or Caitlin Clark fans. Not everything is moving in the same direction, and it doesn't get any worse than that. 5 of the 30 egregious fouls that have been called this season have been on her. 5. That represents 17% of all flagrant fouls committed against a rookie in the league. She is merely attempting to play basketball outside. The teams are competing to see who can knock her down the most forcefully in the interim. It was practically a team effort because of the Chicago Sky. She's being bumped so forcefully by Kennedy Carter that she falls to the ground as if a linebacker had just blindsided her. And you know what? No whistle, no foul. This league is crazy. And for that reason, I feel conflicted. The loss of Caitlin Clark will be felt. I'm hoping that she won't be playing basketball again until April when the WNBA season begins. However, I'm quite happy that I won't have to see the remainder of this. Most of these WNBA players have really turned me off. It's amazing. We should also discuss this so-called officiating. Every other play, Clark gets clobbered, slammed, and hacked out there. The referees also give the impression that they are momentarily blind. Does the WNBA really want people to see this? They sit back and shrug while their best player is abused like a tackling dummy. It's obvious whether they're trying to communicate. Our best talent is unimportant to us. Clark will not receive any respect on the court, as the authorities have made clear, not until she proves herself. Correct, because gaining respect entails losing game after game while the league looks on helplessly. This child is playing for the wrong team. She lacks the necessary skill set to deal with that league's toughness. Additionally, she is a rookie who is being singled out by society because to her appearance, reputation, and the disdain they have shown the WNBA. No, they're expecting this rookie class to be flawless, she replied. Not even among the top rookie classes in the past 10 years is this one. The WNBA is either intentionally doing this or they have no idea what they're doing. Perhaps they are unable to cope with a young celebrity receiving so much attention. Perhaps their goal is to avoid upsetting the established players. Or perhaps they simply don't know how to manage a league. Whatever it is utterly pitiful. They might as well pack it up if they can't defend a player like Clark. Who is the actual reason people are watching? However, when your best rookie is treated like she's in a bar fight every time she's on the court, good luck expanding the league. They're more naive than I initially believed if that's their tactic. They lack the necessary skills for their position. As everyone acts as though it's Caitlin Clark's fans, they've allowed the harassment to continue unabated. They're terrible, and they're on Twitter. Instead of concentrating on the actual mistreatment and inappropriate conduct of their own WNBA player, they emphasize that. And you know what's truly ridiculous? When supporters call them out, they act completely taken aback. What were they anticipating? They have done nothing to stop Clark from being thrashed out there. Individuals are not stupid. What's happening is visible to them. The league had the opportunity to intervene and make it clear that they would not put up with this shit, but they chose not to. Rather, they're too preoccupied with acting as though nothing is wrong while one of their few real stars is being thrashed in every game. What is your main thesis statement or the main point you wish to make here? Because whenever Caitlin Clark is mentioned, I get the impression that you're frustrated or have something you'd like to discuss about this story. In the first place, I'm not angry. Second, I did, on many instances, get things off my chest. I'm only restating my arguments because I believe that was one of the topics that needed to be brought up. Even though Caitlin Clark is new to this and has shown herself to be a potentially outstanding player, there was genuine animosity about some, but not all, of the things that were happening. Therefore, the WNBA is deserving of all the criticism that is directed at them. Simply put, they failed Caitlin Clark. They were unable to keep her safe. They didn't stand by her. And because of her, they are now losing the few admirers they were able to acquire. They have only themselves to blame when the numbers plummet and the stands are empty if this is how they handle their biggest attraction. The WNBA's future is looking quite grim without Clark, but at least they'll have plenty of time to figure it out. And judging by the number of 22s I saw on the walk to the arena and inside the Capital One Arena, it might as well have been Caitlin Clark's home game rather than Indiana's. The problem is, I wasn't shocked by it. However, I was really aback by how crammed the game was. Now what? A series of frantic attempts to promote games that attract no interest. They're holding out hope that anyone will be able to fill the gap left by Clark. Let's be honest though, nobody else is as attractive. The playoff frenzy now resembles a poorly attended practice game, and the league has become a depressing, pitiful farce. Riding high on Clark's coattails was the WNBA. They are now face planting so forcefully that it is nearly uncomfortable to witness. Nearly. Sales of tickets soared when Clark was playing. Additionally, their meager forecast for 2024 showed a staggering 93% rise in ticket sales. 93%. But without her, good luck, hee-hee. The decline will affect more than simply ticket sales. It will also affect sponsorships, merchandise, and more. When there isn't even one athlete worth seeing, who will purchase a jersey? Furthermore, which business would want to put their logo on this sinking ship right now? Poor management caused the WNBA to go from having a bright future to going bankrupt more quickly than you could say that. Additionally, a statement will be released by the WNBA. Furthermore, press conferences will be held by Alyssa Thomas, and these other girls. Did you notice these tweets? How cruel they are? Oh, I may be blinded by sticks and fingernails, but words are what truly kill me. Not to be overlooked is the icing on the cake, social media. The only reason anyone bothered to discuss the WNBA online was because of Caitlin Clark. Legends about her highlights went viral on social media like pyrotechnics. Everyone else in the league yawned. She was the one who created enthusiasm, engaged fans, and generated buzz about a sport that most people couldn't give a damn about. And rather than supporting her, the WNBA did nothing but sit back and let the hate mongers and trolls have their way. They did nothing at all while the officials singled her out and made absurd calls. The exquisite irony here should also not be overlooked. They attempted to hype up a squad that is purportedly teeming with potential by painting this complete picture of we have so many stars. However, remove Clark from the equation, and all of a sudden the truth is evident. They have nothing. The star-studded league becomes a desolate place. What became of the other outstanding players? Where are they getting their viewers? Yes, exactly. It didn't exist because the WNBA is a hollow shell that is frantically clutching to whatever semblance of significance it can find without Caitlin Clark lighting up the court. People's reactions who don't believe she receives enough recognition. And she is exempt from criticism, or that complimenting another player doesn't offend her is like, whoa, 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 bro. In addition, you are mentioned in my discussion of women's basketball. I've never seen you in my entire life. This is my last message to the WNBA. Well done. By putting all of your money on a rookie, you've managed to destroy your own league. And now that she's gone, all you have left are empty stands and a disintegrating mess. Instead of tying your entire future to one individual, try creating a league that can stand alone the next time. Because without Caitlin Clark, you're a total farce at the moment.